What's up, party people? This is Maine's World, and it is party time. The newest and realest sports podcast on the planet, giving the truth to you straight. Why? Because you can't control me. I'm Jermaine Harris, and I'm your host. I hope you enjoy the show. All right, our first question comes in from Ice Don in Chicago. What are the chances we have a Subway World Series in Chicago this year? Well, the easy answer, Ice Don, our resident Southside Cubs fan. If y'all remember, it's about 50-50. No, 50% chance. A 50% chance that we will have a Subway World Series because the Chicago White Sox will be in a position to make the World Series and the Chicago Cubs will not. The Chicago White Sox have 9 players that were in the top 100 list that was published about 2 weeks ago. Tim Anderson, last year's MVP, Jose Abreu, Yasmani Grandal, Eloy Jimenez, Johan Mercado, and Luis Robert. And we also have 3 pitchers on that list as well. Lucas Giolito, who you remember had the no-hitter last year, and Liam Hendrick, and also Lance Lynn. So Chicago White Sox have a nice core and a pretty damn good pitching staff. Louis Keuchel did not make the top 100 list, but he's a pretty damn good pitcher as well. And the youngster Andrew Vaughn that the White Sox drafted in 2019 has a good chance of being a designated hitter. 6'2", 215-pound young buck, looking good so far in the Cactus League. So he has a good chance of being the designated hitter. The White Sox this year, their claim to fame or recipe for success will be hitting, home run hitting in particular, and pitching. So that's a pretty damn good combination for any team. But the White Sox were third in home runs last year in that very shortened season. But in my opinion, I think they have a good chance to be in the top 3 home runs this year as well. The only concern that I really had or have still was the age of the skipper. Tony La Russa, like 77 years old. But they rounded out the coaching staff with some young and up-and-coming talent. Miguel Cairo came out of the New York Yankees system. 17-year veteran player. Had a couple of stints with your Chicago Cubs in his career, but he is going to be the bench manager. That is a welcomed addition. Sounds like he's going to work out pretty well. And we have Shelly Duncan as well, a second generation ball player, played quite a few years in the league, and he comes out of the Arizona Diamondbacks organization. So those 2 younger people will help the White Sox stay innovative and up to date on the new trends in Major League Baseball to round out that wisdom and skill that the old head actually has. So I'm looking forward to this season for the White Sox. I don't know if yet. I don't really know if when they're gonna announce if they're gonna have fans. I know Lori Lightfoot. I did hear that the bars were able to open up later, so maybe we will get some fans in the stands this year, which will be a welcome sight. But it's looking up for the White Sox. White Sox have a good chance of making a run to the World Series, and the Cubs do not. That's my answer, Ice Don. Better luck next year for you. All right, next question comes in from Gino in Chicago. What are your thoughts on the pro high school basketball league that's in the works? Well, Gino, I read this story a couple of days ago. It was very intriguing. This new league by Overtime Elite is the company. They said they're going to have about 30 athletes paying the kids $100,000 annually, offering signing bonuses and shares of stock in Overtime Elite, health insurance, and disability insurance. And they also offering a $100,000 scholarship for the players. So the only question is, will the league be sustainable long term? You know for a fact that the NCAA and the NBA are going to have their fingers in the pie, trying to derail such a league, even if it's only 30 athletes. But you got to think about it. This is the model that the Europeans have. I mean, those kids play pro ball, and quite a few of them make it to the league. The ones that come to mind is Luka Doncic, Kristaps Porzingis, and Giannis Antetokounmpo. I mean, two-time MVP and MVP type caliber players. So I'm not sure what kind of athletes are they going to attract. Are they going to attract the athletes that are going to be lottery picks? I'm not sure. But LaMelo Ball is another example of you do not have to participate in the NCAA monopoly of talent to make it to the pros. I'm interested in what kind of rules, though, that the NCAA and NBA will come up with. So the player will lose their eligibility to play either college ball or college ball. Yeah, they or play in high school. So they're offering these kids they can start playing as young as high school. So they won't be able to go back to high school and play ball again. But if you can get a talented player, enough talented players to compete overseas, play against overseas teams, and even some tournaments that the college teams play in some tournaments before the season starts as well to compete with these athletes, it may be an option for some high-level athletes. I mean, if I had the chance, I would do it. Make money now. And if I don't make it to the league, I still can go to college based on this scholarship. I mean, you can't beat it. If you are a player of immense talent that you can only really see you playing ball overseas and not playing in the NBA, that's the type of athlete they should be attracting. So I'm interested to see where it goes. I don't have too much confidence that it will have much traction, just because I know the powers that be will kind of thwart the efforts. But hopefully some of these kids can take advantage of that opportunity. All right, next one comes in from Frank in Baltimore. How good are the Philadelphia 76ers? Well, Frank, the damn 76ers are pretty damn good. I think they're Eastern Conference championship good, in my opinion. Right now, they're 24-12, only a half game into first, and right up on their heels are those Brooklyn Nets, which a lot of people pick as the favorite to come out of the East. I don't, based on their defense. So the Philadelphia 76ers are fifth in points in the Eastern Conference, averaging just a hair under 115 a game, and fourth in points against, only giving up, well, I won't say only, but giving up just over 111 points a game. And just to put it in perspective, Brooklyn is like next to last in the East, giving up the only team giving up more points than Brooklyn is the Washington Wizards. So Joel Embiid, we got to talk about him, averaging 30 points a game, over 11 assists, over 11 boards, 3 assists, and even averaging a steal this season. Shooting over 52% from the field and actually shooting over 40% from three. And for a big man, he's actually 85% from the free throw line, which come playoff time is going to be big. So that is a big time player having a big time year. Tobias Harris, another player having a great year, averaging over 20 points a game, over 7 boards, and over 3 assists. Ben Simmons, the guard, averaging 16 points, 8 rebounds, and about 7.5 assists. So that's that core. But Tobias Harris is 6'8", 225 pounds, and Ben Simmons is also a big guard as well. That will give people fits in the playoffs defensively. Tobias Harris is actually an underrated defender, in my opinion. Another thing to note about the 76ers, have 5 players averaging double figures this season. But I think it's going to come down to how well, like, the Danny Greens and Seth Curry's shoot in the playoffs. That's what it's really going to come down to. They can bank on Dwight Howard giving quality minutes, championship experience that he got last year. So they are Eastern Conference championship good, in my opinion. I really think it's going to be a 3-way race on who has learned the most from heartbreak. Will it be Joel Embiid learning the most from him, that heartbreaking loss and crying off the court? Will it be James Harden, all that heartbreak in Houston? Or will it be Giannis? Will it be Giannis and the Bucks? So those are the 3 teams, the 3 people that will make or break the Eastern Conference champions. Who wants it the most? But yeah, the 76ers are pretty damn good. And I still think they are going to finish first in the East. Everybody's picking the Nets to finish first in the East, but I still say the 76ers will probably end up being the number 1 seed in the East and making the Eastern Conference Finals and ultimately being the Eastern Conference champion. All right, this question comes in from Ben in Dallas. What do you think about Pittsburgh Steelers re-signing Ben Roethlisberger for the 2021 season? Ben, I'm going to give it to you straight. The Steelers are full of shit. Playing hardball with people in their contracts has been like the mainstay of this organization for the last 5 years. I know. We were talking about, Le'Veon Bell got to play into his contract he negotiated. Oh, Antonio Brown shouldn't be holding out. What's going on? But then Ben Roethlisberger is he was already under contract, so they didn't re-sign him. He was already under contract to get paid $19 million. So they tricked him into taking $14 million because somehow he was going to be a $40 million cap hit in the 2021 season based on a contract that he signed. But he was already going to be 39 this year the whole time. So why does he need to take a pay cut? Because it's the better for the organization. F that. Fuck that. You was talking all that shit about everybody else and how they gotta, play for the contract they negotiated. But now the organization doesn't have to pay the man. And, the guy that's been the cornerstone of your franchise for almost 20 years. Now, I'm not necessarily that big of a Ben Roethlisberger fan, but I'm just talking about what's right and wrong. They're always talking about play your contract out because that's what you agreed to, and, that's the Pittsburgh way and all this bull. But then, oh, shit, we're going to be shitty at football because we got to pay you all this money. Oh, we didn't realize that. Fuck that. Nope. So they was supposed to pay him $19 million. He renegotiated to pay $14 million. No ways to make up that $5 million. And then they pushed some of the contract to the 2022 season, which I guess they're banking that he's not gonna play in. Nah. Mm-mm. So not a big fan of the Pittsburgh Steelers right now. Although they did give Dwayne Haskins a second chance, which, was good for him. But nah, damn that. They was talking all that shit, and then now when it's good for them, now the team you gotta be a team first guy and help out the organization because we fucked up. Basically, we didn't know you was gonna be old in 2021, and I guess we thought we was gonna win a championship in 2020. So now we gotta renegotiate. Nope, I wouldn't have did it. All right. On the lighter note, the last question of the day comes in from Sale in Los Angeles. Are you looking forward to the 2021 NBA All-Star Game? Yes, I am looking forward to the All-Star Game, Sale. Couple of takeaways from the last couple of days. LeBron is too funny for that Utah comment. He said, he said we all know we didn't pick Karl Malone and John Stockton when you was playing video games. Ain't got nothing to do with Utah. To put it in perspective, Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert got picked the last two picks for the Team KD and Team LeBron. Another takeaway I had: well, KD should go into counseling or politics when he retires. I love Kyrie Irving, but he should not have been your number one pick. But I think KD is playing the long game and catering to his teammates' feelings. We all know how sensitive Kyrie is, so that might have been a good move. But I think the teams are pretty matched up pretty well, and it should be a fun evening. I really, really like the decision that the NBA decided to make this a one-day event instead of a weekend thing due to COVID and the abbreviated NBA schedule. So I think that was very, very good handling. It should be a fun night of basketball. I think the players appreciated that as well. I know they were talking. They didn't even want to play the All-Star game. Generally speaking, well, some of the players said that. But another thing to note: the Rising Stars game will not be played, but they did release the Rising Stars roster. Another thing I want to note: Ja Morant should see this as a fuel to step up. He's a very, very talented player and should be an all-star in my opinion. I don't know who you take off the list, but he needs to play more consistently and up his totals, generally speaking. I think he had 35 points the last couple of games, and taking over games and taking quite a few more shots. But Memphis is, I think, like 10th in the playoff race right now. But like I said, most in the East and the West, from 5 to 10, not separated by probably one loss total. So Ja Morant needs to see this as an opportunity to step up. And Tobias Harris, I know he was upset about the fact that he didn't make the All-Star team this year, and he's playing at All-Star level. But I would urge him to take it on the chin and show them come playoff time. But the NBA has done a really good job, done the best job of one of the better jobs of any organization navigating this pandemic. And this modified All-Star break, modified All-Star weekend is another example of that. But I'm looking forward to it. It should be a pretty fun day of basketball. All right, party people, I just want to put out a reminder. Tonight, Clarissa Shields will be taking on Marie-Eve Declaire. Clarissa Shields, boxing's pound-for-pound queen, will be headlining a fight card featuring 4 female fights. This is the first pay-per-view event in the last 20 years that females have headlined since Ali Frazier. So please support Clarissa Shields and her team in this endeavor. So fights tonight, UFC tomorrow, and NBA All-Star Sunday. So hopefully we'll be back in the lab on Monday talking about this fun-filled sports weekend. Until then. All right, party people, that's our show for today. Appreciate you being here. Hit us up at mainsworldpodcast.com to drop your questions. We're also available on YouTube. Please hit like and subscribe. Until next time, I'm Jermaine Harris, and I'm out. Why? Because you can't control me.